there are other people who say today that to be in a GNU with the DA is a sellout position. But the very same political parties were basically working with the DA to defeat the ANC in local government. And the same political parties were advocating and mobilizing society for a GNU without the ANC. But here we have a GNU led by the ANC. But before the elections, they said the ANC must be surgically removed from power. And you must work even with the DA and the Freedom Front Plus. Work with them to remove the ANC. Now, we have the ANC emerging as the largest political party in the GNU, and it's not removed out of party or out of power. And then they change the rhetoric now. How can you go to bed with sellouts and all of that and so on, this political party? We said that to us it's not persuasive because it's not a principled argument, neither ideological disposition. It's just opportunism, and that is it. So we are here where we are now, as a leading party in the GNU, working with everybody and working very well. And it doesn't mean that this GNU will not be shaped by contradictions, but will defend what it is right and will lead what is of importance to us in terms of our agenda. I mean, that is why we are not moved when there are contradictions around Bella Bill, around NHI, and all of that. We knew the contradictions that will come with this GNU will mean this. And we need to engage with everybody. And that is what we are doing, talking to political parties in the GNU, engaging them on the issues, and we've got mechanisms of how to engage in the context of the statement of intent. So all in all, nobody was reined in. If we rein in on somebody, we will basically write to you, the media and South Africa, and tell them that that person is censured. We have not censured Panyaza. We have engaged him as a leader, and then I don't know these distortions that are running on WhatsApp groups. You know, I've told you that WhatsApp groups are constituted by people who are bored, and they sent me these lies as fact that Panyaza said this in the officials' meeting, and then Mtolo and Mbalula lost, and journalists write. There's Mahlengi. The ANC will speak for itself. I'm not a spokesperson. Here is the spokesperson, Mahlengi. I will fight with her if she's not available. Now, you've got to speak to Mahlengi before you write. Some of you wrote the stories that Panyaza was a Tarzan here, and then he came, and at the same time he defeated, and the officials were in conflict, and there is this source. And you even quote TK. There was no TK yesterday here. There was no TK. He's quoted there in a report written by a journalist that TK Ngiza was reprimanded by the president in the meeting, and he was told by President Ramaphosa, it was so tense in this meeting. Ramaphosa had to intervene and say, TK, pack your bags and go. This thing is finished. The officials did not understand where Mbalula comes from with this thing and all of that. It is written in a newspaper. And I've been dealing with these issues, people writing, even meetings that never took place. There was an NEC meeting that took place to disband KZN and Gauteng. We are not asked, it's written, front page. Amatota, no, that is true, front page. There was an NEC meeting. But I say, when we call NEC meetings, we call journalists. We write to them. We give them reports. They ask us questions. At least when you say, Mbalula, there was an NEC meeting you called to, but what you are telling us is a lie. The sources are telling us this. I will accept your point because there was a meeting. Now, you wake up, there was a meeting of the NEC that sat and then took the following decisions about KZN and then about Gauteng. I can tell you right now, And NWC meetings have not been sitting twice. This last week we could not correct because comrades some of them were out of the country. And then I saw a report that there was an NWC meeting that met. We never met. And then this meeting that Panyaza attended on Monday, they say that no, TK was there. And then it was so tense in this meeting, and then it's not true. Panyaza came, explained himself, and then he was asked to explain himself on the following 2-3. He explained himself, the officials were happy with his explanation, and he was released. That's it. There was no tension, there was no fighting, and all of those things. Disbandment. Disbandment did arise in the meeting as an option that need to be examined. There's no decision. There's no decision. It does arise in terms of the solutions and all of that for various reasons. There is no decision to disband any structure. But in the meeting, in the process of discussion, comrades sharing views and all of that, there is no decision. It's a view that it does not come to the conclusion that a structure is disbanded. Now, SABC, we don't have names for the mayor. We're going to discuss now. When I'm done here, I'm meeting with Tshwane, and then I'm eating also with Gauteng province.
Meeting?
Yeah, meeting. I'm meeting them to finalize this. They will give me a report. We don't take decisions for structures. They bring decisions to the fore, we process them, discussing with them. We are not a dictatorship, we are not autocratic, we engage. But artificial and fake heroism that our structures are independent from us, when it comes to decision making, they veer away from strategic approaches the organization is taking, are incorrect. And we will never allow such perceptions to be perpetuated because they are based on lies. You see, in Tshwane, we are discussing with our structures about what must happen. We're looking at all the risks, all the risks. There is no option in this coalition, governments that we are in, that is without risks. Every option you take has got risk. Government of national unity, when we took that decision, it has got its own risks. Grand coalition, it has got its own risks. Opposition, it has got its own risks and all of that. So you don't just get into a decision and think that it's smooth sailing and there are no risks. It's incorrect. Then such decisions can only be taken by people who suffer from inertia. Inertia, stop thinking. People who have stopped thinking and analyzing. They take decisions and they don't look at the risks. Every decision has got its own risks. We are meeting with our structures, and we will decide today, Samkel, about if there is a mayor for the ANC, and if we are fielding who, and that's it. The entire package will be finalized today between us and our structures. And we've got a clear mandate from the NWC about what needs to happen in relation to these matters. So we will share with the comrades when we meet with them this afternoon. There's no decision on 2 provinces. It's not taking too long. We have gone to the 2 provinces, visited the provinces. We know what is happening in these provinces before the elections and after. There are important developments in these provinces, and therefore the National Working Committee have mandated the officials to process these matters. And then in the next 2 weeks, by the time we get to the NEC, there will be direction. We will have met with these provinces, Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. Remember, the decision about what must happen here is not one-sided. It's not NWC telling a province. It's about the NWC engaging with the comrades here in these provinces. About comrades, in the light of what we know right now, what do you think must actually happen? But we have already made up. If we make up our decision to disband the structure, there's no problem. We'll take that decision. It's the easiest. And we've taken such decisions in the past. We've taken such decisions in the past. But you don't just wake up and disband comrades. You have won, you have lost the elections. You now want to apportion blame to others. We need to show comrades the pitfalls, the difficulties, and we must address those difficulties together. And if it involves disbandment, it will be our decision collectively that we think, given this situation, we must start afresh. Or we may not disband at all. We may want to organize the organization, rebuild the ANC. We went into this election with a very weak organization. Weak. The task before us now, since from Congress we are mandated, is to rebuild the ANC. These things we're doing, political education, renewal program, membership and all of that, they are meant to rebuild the ANC. And how do you rebuild the ANC? And what are you basically going to do to rebuild the organization? That's what we're doing in the NEC. When we meet end of the month, we look at the state of organization. It is diagnostic analysis, meaning like literally desktop, you know. We're still gonna do a deep stick analysis by